So today I'm going to show you how to laminate a piece of canvas or linen that's pre-primed onto Gator board, Gator foam, which is a little bit more rigid material than what you would know as foam core. It's also archival. So this is a pretty good, durable, lightweight solution to mounting canvases as opposed to stretching them. So here are some of the items that you're going to need. And so let's start with some of the supplies that you're going to need for this. Probably the first and foremost is this, it's called Raphael's Miracle Muck, and I'll give information about purchasing it online. I buy it in gallon containers, and a gallon lasts me usually a couple of years, so a little goes a long way. You don't need to dilute that. You'll need some roll canvas, or this is a oil primed linen. So that's what I'm going to use today. You'll need a piece of Gator foam, and you'll want this to be cut smaller than the piece of linen. This is a pretty important point I want to make here. You want your linen to be a larger surface area than the piece of foam that you're working on. You're going to apply the glue to the foam, and you're going to want some overlap with that. A rolling pin, a box knife, scissors, a pencil, probably a T-square so that you can cut all this nice and square. You're going to need a container for your roller and a small foam roller. Also, you'll need an iron because this is a heat-activated material. So an iron. At the very end, you'll need some craft paper that's at least as large as the surface that you're covering, and you're going to need some books for weights. The other thing that you might need, if your linen or canvas has a lot body, is some printer's weights. These can be purchased online. They're I don't know, they're probably shot pellets or something in a leather casing. It's a soft weight. Okay, first thing you want to do is make sure you have a nice, clean, dust-free surface. So I recommend you take a brush or a wipe and clear off your surface, because anything that gets between your canvas and your surface is going to leave a bulge in your canvas, and you're not going to like that when you go to paint. So we're ready to apply the glue to the board, and you'll need your foam roller, and you're going to fill your container with enough of the glue to fully cover your board. And get that foam roller nice and covered, and then you're going to roll that onto your board. You want to try and get a nice even cover. Oops, little bug. Nice even coverage. This roller is not the greatest. There we go. And you don't need a thick coating, but if you have a fairly heavy bodied canvas, I would recommend you go a little thicker. And you want to make sure, particularly at the edges and corners, that you've covered your board. And you want a pretty even coverage here. Once you have good even coverage on your glue, it's time to get your linen. And again, you've cut your linen or your canvas a little larger than your board, and so you want to lay one edge down, extending out over the end, so that all you have to do from there, you do want to have your weights handy if you've got a heavier body canvas, like I said, because you're going to want to keep some contact as you unfurl your canvas, and there we go. Once you've got your canvas extended, you're going to work to smooth that down. And now it's time for your rolling pin. So that you don't damage the surface of your canvas, I recommend some craft paper over that. And then now it's time to roll out so that you get good contact over the whole canvas. You don't really have too much worry about bubbles in general, as long as you've laid that out pretty flat. And you have glue covering your entire sheet. You don't usually have a problem with big bubbles, but the rolling pin does kind of help to ensure that you don't end up with any at all. Okay, and that seems to be contacting pretty well. I almost don't need these weights, but I'm going to keep them on just until I've had a chance to get the iron heated up. So that's our next step. Okay, so we have a warm iron. Our canvas and board that have just been glued are covered with a piece of craft paper, and we're ready to just apply some heat and some pressure to activate that glue and make sure we get a good seal on between the board and the linen or canvas. Our next step is to apply some weight to this. We're going to leave that weight on for about 24 hours. And after that, all we'll need to do is trim and cut to size. So this is where your art books serve yet another purpose, and that is as a weight. So you want to make sure that you have weight applied. It doesn't have to be perfectly even weight, but you do want weight applied over the entire board. And edge to edge, even a little overlap at the top, at the ends is a good idea. I'm gonna go this way so that we have end to end better. We're just gonna leave that overnight. Alrighty, it's been about 24 hours now, so I've removed the book weights and the craft paper. I've got my board with some excess canvas off to the side. So what I'm in the process of doing now is trimming the canvas away from the edge of the board so that it's just flush up with the edge. Sharp utility blade is key to this, so be sure that if you haven't changed your box knife blade in a while, that you do that. I also think a utility knife is both safer and better for the job than an X-Acto knife, so just that's my recommendation. And we're just gonna trim through from the back side where we can see the edge of the board and go right through the canvas. switch around this way so you can see a little better what I'm doing. I'm just going to get the edge. So what we have now is a piece of trimmed laminated board with a primed surface that we can cut easily in any size we like. That's one of the great advantages, including if you do a painting and you're not happy with the way you set the painting on the surface, you can always make adjustments and crop into that, so that's a nice plus there as well. Also, if you should ever need to remove the surface from the board, that can also be done by applying heat again, so you can reactivate the glue and it will remove. So that's the process. Thank you. Here's the information for purchasing Miracle Muck by phone or online.